Hey guys, and welcome to Two Guys in a Van. In today's episode, we'll be discussing creating blueprints for the layout of your van. But before we get to the blueprints, some good news. We got some new equipment, new lights, and we got a new GoPro, so we will be able to provide you with some better first-person view of how to do some things when building the van, and we'll be able to get into tighter spaces. So we are definitely looking forward to making those videos for you, and hopefully as time progresses we'll be able to get some better equipment and really make this channel better for you, because right now we're just using the iPhone and it's really not working out that great. Now let's talk about creating blueprints for the layout of your van. Your blueprints could be as easy or as complicated as you make them. You could just use pen and paper. If you're going to go the pen and paper route, I would recommend using graph paper. It will make things a lot easier for you when trying to figure out the scale and putting all the little boxes inside the van, figuring out the square footage and such. So graph paper is definitely a better choice than regular paper, but you could also do it on regular paper just with a pen. Another option would be using your computer. You can download the layout of the van from the internet. It's pretty easy to find. I'll show you how a little bit later on. So you could just download the blueprints for the van, the layout, and get it printed out. Then once you have the printout, just draw on that where you want everything to go. So that's option number 2. And option number 3 would be using your computer again, but this time using software to help you with drafting the blueprints. In my case, I'm using Affinity Designer Pro, but you could use Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop Elements or straight up Photoshop. So you definitely have a lot of options. So let's get to it. I will show you how to do this using Affinity Designer. It's a pretty straightforward process, so it shouldn't be too complicated if you just follow the steps that I lay out for you. Okay guys, so you start off by going to your browser, going to Google, and I tried typing in Mercedes Sprinter blueprints. However, there were just way too many results that were a little confusing, and you really had to dig through everything to find anything. So this seemed to be a more straightforward query. Sprinter floor plan templates. The first result is this website that gives you free PDFs that you could download. In our case, it's a 170 wheelbase. So there you go. See, you have the template with the dimensions, and you also have the scale right here on the bottom. Now I already have that document downloaded. So let me just open it in Affinity Designer. You could use pretty much any software that you want, Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. The process would be very similar to this. So let's launch Affinity Designer, and we will open a file. There goes 170 wheelbase blueprint PDF. So we open that. We leave all these settings alone. And there you go. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Perfect. Now what you want to do is go to View and click on Show Grid. Perfect. Now you click on View again and you go to Grid and Axis Manager, and you uncheck the Use Automatic Grid. Go to an Advanced Grid, and we will do this grid divided by 12, so 12 divisions, since there's 12 inches in a foot. I guess there must be a way to readjust it to show centimeters, but we're working with inches here, so 12 inches in a foot. And the spacing, we're going to go and do 33.3 points. I'm gonna adjust the shading a little bit on the grid lines. Okay, close this. Just align that with the edge of the grid and stretch it out a little bit. Perfect. So you could just stretch the image a little bit so the grid fits the scale on the bottom, you'll see even at 96 inches, you'll be just like half an inch off. So that's not a huge error margin. Once you've done that, just leave that alone. You can go to layer and create a new layer to make it on top of it. And you can decide the layout of your van. Perfect, so let's go to that layer. And let's go with a black color. The mattress that we're going to use is going to be 75 inches by 53 inches. So what you could do is, perfect, you could zoom in a little bit. Select the pen tool. And let's start off right here. The mattress is going to be 75 inches long. So we end up right here. That's our first line. Then it's going to be 53 inches long. So now let's move it here, readjust this to be at a 90-degree angle, drag it over here to the starting point. Perfect, select the pen tool again, start off right in this corner. We're going to do 53 inches, which is going to be right here. Looks like I'm a little bit off, so let's see, let's just lift this up a little bit. Perfect. And just like that, you have the bed, and you know perfectly where it's going in your van. So in this case, we will favor this side because we're going to put some closets alongside this whole wall. And this is where the bathroom is going to go. You could go to the text tool. That should be clear enough. Let's get moved to the middle. You could press Shift, select this and the bed. Right click and group this so it becomes a single item. You could drag it around where you like. And basically just like that, you continue with measuring out the rest of your van, and you will end up with a printable blueprint. Let's see, let me show you the one that that we're working on. It's almost done. There it goes. So you just use the pen tool, the node tool, to fix any mistakes that you might have made if you were a little bit off grid. Make sure to enable snapping as well. And it's pretty much that easy. So there's the bed. This is where the closets are going to be, and the shower. Our kitchen. There's going to be a kitchenette here as well. We haven't gotten to that part of the design as of yet, since it's still being worked on. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you can design your blueprint. Then when you're done, you just hit print and you're all set. You have a rough estimate of where everything is going to go. It's pretty much to scale, so there shouldn't be any problems, and you will know how much space you have left over to work with, or if it might be a little bit tight. I forgot to add that for every design element that you put in here, let's say for the bed, you create a separate layer. Then when you want to add the closets, you go to layer and you create another new layer. That's where you put your closet. That way you could label this accordingly, and you don't mess up any previous layers of what you have laying underneath. So just remember to group the items together. Right here you have the word shower and the actual dimensions of the shower pan, how they're going to be. Group this together so they become one item. That way you could just drag them around, they stick together. So as you can see, layer 4, I just created layer 4. That layer would be for our kitchenette layout here. So that's what it's going to be used for. Layer number 3 is actually the kitchen cabinets, the kitchen cabinet countertop actually, with the farmhouse sink that we're going to have in there. So it's pretty much that easy. Countertop slash sink, and that's all there is to it. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for today's episode. You saw how simple it is to design your blueprints. If you want to go as complicated as doing a design on a computer program, you could follow my steps. Might have seemed a little bit clunky. I'm definitely not a professional. I'm just becoming familiar with this software, but it is pretty easy to work with. So that's what we'll be basing our van off of the blueprint that we've created here. You could also stick to the good old pen and paper, that works as well. Like I said, it's really up to you on how simple or how complicated you want to make this this process. Basically, as long as you get the van done, you can do whatever you want. Now, if you found this video helpful, give us a like. If you have any questions or comments about the process, please drop us a comment below or direct message us, whatever you want. We'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. We would love to hear some feedback on how we could improve those videos or what else we could do to make the channel a little bit more enjoyable. In the next few days, we should have a video coming out on installing the Max Air fans in the 170 wheelbase Sprinter that we have. So make sure to keep a lookout for that. Thank you for watching and have a great day. There are plenty of resources online that you could use to your advantage. If you just Google Sprinter, if you just Google Sprinter van layout or Sprinter van, you could just print it out and then use a pen or pencil to put all the different areas. There are many websites out there that will provide you with. Fuck me!